Gamji gwamnan jihar mu wanda kake shan mu. Muna taya ka da murna yau shekara guda da
masu jayayya duk kuda na jayayya Allah shi da ya mu ya gama ikon shi. In Allah ya yarda bakon mu zai shigo da amincin shi. Jihar mu kam ta sai to gwamnan mu ya gwada mu na kishin shi. Allah da ya biya ka mu Zamfara ba mu da canjin shi. Tsaro kuma zai samu ba jimawa ai komi sai a hankali ya ka dore. Tsaro gwamna na iya kai ne Allah ya taimake ka ga dawowa. Tsaro ya samu birnin mu sannan har garuruwan da ka watsewa.
Of the Zamfara state government. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. We truly appreciate to have this opportunity to interact with you and to learn more about the issues that are at the heart of this mission, which is insecurity, crime, and drug abuse as it affects Zamfara state. And of course, we all know it doesn't only affect Zamfara state, it affects the entire country and the northwest in some particular manners. Now, the purpose of this visit is first and foremost for us to gain a much deeper understanding of the specific challenges that Zamfara state is facing with regard to those topics. We would also like to use this opportunity not only to learn, but also to share some good practices, some lessons learned from Nigeria, but also from beyond Nigeria, that we've been successfully testing in other parts of the country. And I'm particularly pleased that we're being joined by the Director General of the Kaduna State Bureau on Drug Prevention and Treatment, Mr. Joseph Ike, who has gone a lot has done a lot already in Kaduna State, and I think there's some interesting lessons to be learned from those efforts there. Then we would like to not have only a talk agenda. That's very often what the UN does, and we are trying to move away from that as much as we can. So we would like to really leave here with a very clear idea of an initial work plan that would outline some of the activities that we could do right away. That means right away for the remainder of 2024. Means basically that we're going to look at existing programs and projects of the United Nations, and in particular of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, in terms of how they could potentially also benefit Zamfara state. And again, we would not only rely on our own resources, but also possibly on the kind support from the Kaduna state government that has, as I mentioned, already gone quite far in this matter. And then, of course, we also will develop a more substantial program which would outline the joint activities well beyond 2024, and would really substantially try to help Zamfara state and Zamfara state relevant ministries and to tackle the specific issues that relate to insecurity, banditry, crime, and drug abuse. We should also mention that this entire endeavor has been really initiated and spearheaded by His Excellency, who went, I think it's not even a full month ago, to meet with the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Mrs. Amina Mohammed, in New York, to outline some of the specific challenges that he and other colleagues of his were facing as concerns insecurity, development, and of course also drug abuse. That was followed by two separate meetings, one with the Undersecretary General Voronkov on counterterrorism specifically, and one with the Executive Director of UNODC itself, Mrs. Radawali, discussing security and drug-related issues. So that brings us here in, well, about 4 weeks since we first had contact, which I would say is not quite as quick as we want to be, but we're getting there. Like we're trying, I would say in Nigerian terms. So we're very glad to be here, and we're really looking forward to these coming 2 days to intensive conversations. And of course, I already from the introductions see that there are many commissioners that I think have mandates very pertinent to the topics that we'll be going to be discussing. So we're looking forward to engaging with them later today in the bigger workshop, and then maybe also subsequently tomorrow in individual meetings. So thank you very much. And
members of the press, good morning. Like Dr. Oliver rightly mentioned, this is a follow-up meeting based on a series of meetings we had right from New York some few weeks ago. And on our return, we also went to the UN headquarters in Abuja here. We also had about 2 meetings. And this is a follow-up to those meetings. Let me use this opportunity to welcome you to Zamfara State, as well as the Kaduna State, Mr. Joseph, who is also in charge of the drugs abuse in Kaduna, that has some experience, and we're trying to tap into that experience to see what we can do, what kind of framework we put in place, so that we can address some of these issues we're facing. As you're all aware, we have serious security challenges, and there's a correlation between drugs and insecurity. Therefore, we have a team of experts that will assist the state towards solving some of these major issues the state is facing. And we're glad they're here, and it's an opportunity for all of us to engage them very well, so as to understand what needs to be done and what would be the way forward. So I want to thank you for finding the time to be with us in Zamfara. Despite all the security challenges, you're here, so we're happy, we're excited. And well, this is just a brief remark. We'll be meeting around 11:20 to discuss further on this. Thank you very much.